beautiful girl. Like, I'm a beautiful woman. I've been posting pictures in my bikinis. I got a nice body and I work hard for it. And if I want to post a picture in my bikini, I should be able to without being sexualized.
The landscape of women's basketball has evolved dramatically over the past few years, with stars emerging from unexpected places, and with that, new standards being set for what it means to be a role model. But what happens when a rising star, once celebrated for her raw talent and charismatic presence,
I'm literally lost for words, knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person, which is interesting,
decides to flip the script and turn her back on the sport that made her famous? Is it a calculated career move, or is it something deeper? For Angel Reese, the star of the WNBA, this question is not just a headline. It's a matter of identity, career choices, and the price of fame. Angel Reese, once hailed as one of the most promising young stars in the WNBA, has become a controversial figure. It's almost painful to reflect on how far she's come, or more accurately, how far she's strayed.
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for what I said.
There was a time when Angel Reese was seen as the next big thing in women's basketball. A force to be reckoned with on the court, with the talent, drive, and charisma that made everyone see a bright future for her in the sport. But now the story seems to have taken a darker turn. Instead of focusing on perfecting her skills and proving herself as a leader for young athletes, Angel Reese is now making headlines for a very different reason. Reese's decision to publicly take her talents to realms outside of basketball was bold, controversial, and a lot more complex than many of her fans initially realized. In fact, her entire persona, which was once so tightly tied to the WNBA and her athletic achievements, has transformed in recent months. The reality is clear now. Angel Reese isn't just a basketball player anymore. She's turned into something much larger, something that has captured the attention of millions, yet is it worth it? Has Angel Reese's pursuit of fame and fortune led her to a point where basketball is no longer a priority? Angel Reese's story began like many of the WNBA's brightest young stars. She was a standout player in college basketball, and her raw talent didn't go unnoticed.
Role model.
But they saw what was going on with Angel Reese and how committed, for lack of a better word, Teresa Weatherspoon was.
On the court, she showed immense promise, but it wasn't just her skills that set her apart. It was her captivating personality and her ability to rally fans with her energy, and drive. Angel Reese was the face of the future. People expected her to be the next big name in women's basketball, pushing boundaries and breaking records. At the time, Reese and Caitlin Clark, another emerging star in the WNBA, were seen as the future of the sport. Both were incredibly talented and had the kind of charisma that could bring women's basketball to new heights.
But teammates, and your team has eyes. They can see what we can see. They may not get in front of the microphone and say it. She's with the Chicago.
While Caitlin Clark focused on her craft, pushing herself to new levels of excellence and becoming a role model for young athletes everywhere, Angel Reese seemed to be chasing something else, through something outside of basketball. For Reese, it seemed that the game of basketball wasn't enough. She became vocal about how the WNBA salary structure didn't support the kind of lifestyle she envisioned for herself. She openly criticized the league for its pay structure, stating that her WNBA salary didn't even cover her rent. This sent shockwaves through the sports world, with many questioning whether Reese truly understood the value of her platform and the responsibility that came with it. In the offseason from basketball, when most players were working on their game, staying in shape, or engaging in community outreach, Angel Reese made a bold pivot. She made it clear that fame and fortune were her new priorities. While Caitlin Clark was posting training videos and engaging with fans through social media to promote the game, Angel Reese's Instagram feed told a very different story. Gone were the basketball highlights and behind-the-scenes shots from practice. Instead, Reese began posting a barrage of glamorous photos, including bikini shots, posing in lavish outfits, and living a lifestyle that was more akin to a celebrity influencer than a professional athlete. Reese wasn't just posting pictures, she was creating a brand, a persona, and it was one that had little to do with the game of basketball. As her posts transitioned from showcasing her basketball career to flaunting her figure and enjoying lavish vacations, fans began to question her priorities. Was this the future of women's basketball, or had Reese chosen a different path entirely? The shift in Reese's public persona didn't go unnoticed. Fans who had once supported her for her on-court achievements found themselves confused by the stark contrast in her off-court actions.
Chicago Sun-Times, and she recently reported that Weatherspoon was tailoring the Sky's game around one or two players led to some serious...
They had followed her journey because they saw her as a role model, someone to look up to, and someone who would represent the best aspects of the sport. Instead, they saw a young woman who seemed to prioritize fame and fortune over the sport that had catapulted her to stardom. Angel Reese's journey from a basketball star to a headline-grabbing influencer has sparked intense debate. In December 2024, the world witnessed a pivotal moment in Reese's transformation when she was seen partying in a Miami strip club alongside the famous Cardi B. This night out marked not only a personal milestone, but also the escalation of Reese's transition from an athlete to a full-blown influencer with a growing presence in the world of fashion and entertainment. While some defended her choices, others felt betrayed by the direction her career was taking. This shift in priorities has raised important questions about fame, responsibility, and the price of personal ambition.
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for last day.
Despite the backlash, Reese defended her actions. In interviews and through social media, she made it clear that she was unapologetic about her choices, explaining that the night out was part of her strategy to build connections within the entertainment industry. Reese had long been vocal about her desire to step into the world of modeling and had already started using her social media platforms to showcase a life filled with glamorous photo shoots and high-end fashion. In her mind, this was not just a wild night out. Reese saw it as an opportunity to network with influential people, with Cardi B acting as a key figure in helping her make connections in the world of entertainment. Reese was clear in stating that she was strategically positioning herself to further her modeling career, something that was becoming increasingly evident in her social media posts. However, this marked a significant shift for a player who once had her sights set firmly on basketball stardom. Fans had followed her for her on-court performances and her fierce determination, but now it seemed as if her focus had shifted entirely to building her personal brand. The move from athlete to influencer wasn't exactly a secret, but the event in Miami turned the spotlight on this new phase of her career. The public's reaction to Reese's actions was immediate and polarized. On social media platforms, discussions quickly turned into a full-blown debate. Some fans defended her right to live her life the way she wanted, emphasizing that Reese, like any other young woman, should have the freedom to post bikini pictures, enjoy her life.
I'm a beautiful girl. Like, I'm a beautiful woman. I've been posting pictures in my bikinis. I got a nice body and I work hard for it. And if I want to post a picture in my bikini, I should be able to without being sexualized.
And pursue opportunities outside of basketball. For these fans, Reese was simply living unapologetically, and they respected her for it. They believed that the world should stop holding athletes to impossible standards, especially when it came to how they chose to express themselves outside their sport. However, there was a significant portion of the fan base who felt betrayed. They had followed Reese because of her basketball talent, her potential as a future superstar, and her role as a role model for young athletes.
Or I'm this, that, like, it's the same. It's been happening for
They viewed her decision to party in a strip club with Cardi B as the final straw in her abandonment of those responsibilities. To them, it was clear that Reese was prioritizing fame and the attention it brought over her athletic career and the potential to inspire the next generation of basketball players. One tweet that gained traction on social media read, "Is this the future of women's basketball? From rising star to tabloid fodder in a matter of months." This tweet encapsulated the frustration of many who felt that Reese had not only turned her back on her fans, but also put a dark cloud over the WNBA's efforts to be taken seriously. At a time when the WNBA was striving for more visibility,
do all she could in order to keep the attention off of her, right?
Sponsorships, and respect, Reese's actions became a massive distraction that took the focus off the league's accomplishments and instead shone a spotlight on her personal life. The timing of Reese's actions couldn't have been worse. The WNBA was in the middle of a push to gain more mainstream attention, with new TV deals, social media campaigns, and marketing efforts designed to elevate the league and the sport of women's basketball. At a time when the focus should have been on the athletes and the game, Reese's behavior shifted the narrative to her personal life. For critics, this felt like a huge setback for the WNBA, particularly as it was working hard to be seen as a legitimate sport, worthy of the same respect as its male counterpart, the NBA. Reese's antics overshadowed the league's progress and served as a reminder of how the media could easily be distracted by drama and controversy.
It sucks to see that, and it's really hard that I have to go through that, and now seeing other players even having to go through that. But like, at the end of the day,
while the WNBA and its fans were hoping for an increased focus on the game and its athletes, Reese's night out seemed to derail those efforts entirely. For those hoping to see the WNBA become a more prominent, respected league, this was a glaring disappointment.
Like, I'm a beautiful woman. I've been posting pictures in my bikini. I got a nice body.
One of the most jarring contradictions in Reese's journey is her stance on how the media sexualizes female athletes. Reese has long been vocal about her frustration with how women in sports are often reduced to their physical appearances rather than their athletic talent.
Regular American salary for an extraordinary amount of attention that she gets. Now, obviously, she's cashing in.
She has repeatedly called out the media for objectifying female athletes and treating them as if their worth lies in their looks. Yet, as her social media feed became increasingly filled with glamorous pictures, swimsuits, and sensual poses, many fans began to question whether her actions contradicted her words.
WNBA salary doesn't pay her rent. Now, her WNBA salary is like $74,000.
This contradiction didn't go unnoticed by critics. In fact, some felt that Reese was perpetuating the very problem she claimed to oppose. They argued that by posting these images and seeking attention through her looks, she was contributing to the objectification of female athletes. Reese's supporters, however, pointed out that her posts were an expression of self-confidence and empowerment. But this debate about whether her actions lined up with her words revealed a deeper issue. Was Reese truly living her truth, or was she playing both sides of the fence? For many of her fans, this was the most frustrating part of the conversation. They had supported Reese because she seemed to be a woman of principle, someone who spoke out against the treatment of female athletes in the media. But now, with her social media flooded with sultry photo shoots and endorsements, many wondered whether Reese had lost sight of the message she had once championed. As Reese's career took a sharp turn toward becoming a full-time influencer, many fans began to question her commitment to basketball. What had once been a promising athletic career now seemed to take a backseat to her personal ambitions. For those who had followed her rise to prominence, it was disappointing to see a player who had the potential to become one of the WNBA's biggest stars now focused more on building her brand than on improving her game. While some admired her confidence and self-expression, others felt that Reese was prioritizing fame and fortune over her legacy as an athlete. The question became, was basketball just a side hustle for her now? Was her pursuit of a career in entertainment more important than the sport that made her famous? Reese's focus on building a personal brand and her pursuit of fame over basketball led many to wonder about her future in the sport. Was this a temporary distraction, or had she completely moved on from the game that made her a household name? Time will tell whether this shift in priorities will have long-term consequences for her career. However, one thing is certain. Angel Reese's transformation has exposed the cost of chasing fame, and the price may be steeper than she ever anticipated. Angel Reese's journey from a promising basketball star to an influencer represents the complexities of modern fame. As social media continues to play a central role in the lives of athletes, the line between professional and personal life becomes increasingly blurred. Reese's story is a testament to the pressures and contradictions that come with living in the public eye. While she has made it clear that she is unapologetically living life on her terms, her actions raise questions about the price of fame and whether it's possible to maintain a legacy while constantly chasing the next big thing. For now, Angel Reese's future remains uncertain. She may very well return to basketball with renewed focus, or she may continue to pursue her career as an influencer. Whatever path she chooses, one thing is for sure. Her story is far from over, and the world will continue to watch closely.